From Nashville, Tennessee, Inside the Noize podcast with your host, Jenna Hydeman. Here's Jenna.
And when I'm ready.
Okay, welcome to Inside the Noize. I'm sitting here with Mr. Allan Gieger.
Mr. Allan Gieger.
He's a man of many talents.
I would say so.
I needed a bio from you. I was trying to write one.
I don't have a bio.
I think you need one.
I could do that. I had a press release that was supposed to go out a long time ago, and it had a brief bio in it.
See, that's what I needed.
And no one knows that exists. I need to do that.
Yeah, I wanted to introduce you and ramp you up before revealing it was you.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to say anything wrong.
True.
So I didn't.
Better not to say anything.
so I just didn't say anything.
Oh, goodness.
I wanted to really But
I need an anthem song or something.
If you had a theme song, what would your theme song be?
Ooh.
Walking in today, if you had walk-in music.
If I had to answer it fast, it's only because it's my favorite band, but it'd be a Van Halen song called Hot for Teacher, even though I'm not a teacher.
Okay.
It's the most phenomenal music video they ever, I love it.
Hot for Teacher.
Hot for Teacher.
Okay, well.
Look it up, music video, Van Halen.
Okay, cool.
You'll probably understand a lot about me if you watch that music video.
Hot for Teacher. All right, I'm going to have to look it up after this.
Yep.
Okay, Allan. So tell us a little bit about yourself, of where you're at right now.
Ooh. Right now I'm recording a podcast. A little bit about me. Originally from a small town in Northeast Ohio. I grew up on a dairy farm.
Did you really?
Yep. Last name's Geiger, so it was Geiger's Dairy Farm.
Do you know a fun fact?
What's that?
I was in FFA, and I got second place in dairy judging 2 years in a row, and I went to state. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the best thing. There's so many people in Nashville that have this small town background. Which is probably why we all live here. But
yeah. What were you like as a kid?
In middle school, I was always on table 3 at lunch, which was the jocks.
Did you play sports?
I did, and I played every sport in middle school. And then in 5th grade, I actually got into band. And I remember they came around class with all the reeds for the wind instruments. I'm like, no, I would never want to do this. And then they said, if you are interested in percussion, come on down to the music room. So I fell in love with percussion. Did that 5th, 6th, 7th grade while playing sports. And in 8th grade, I saw my first ever drum set for jazz band. And I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that I can play everything at once and not just the kick drum or the cymbals or the snare drum? I'm like, I can do all of it together. And so starting high school, I played no sports, and I was a kid in the back corner wearing a flannel in a 80s rock band, just playing rock and roll.
Did you ever play pep band for the people who played sports?
No, we did. We did play we were freshmen, and we played the 7th and 8th grade Valentine's Day dance.
Okay.
And then we split up the time with the DJ, and so we were this trio rock band. And we played a song called Cocaine, and got in trouble by the principal.
Oh my gosh, do you still remember that song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It literally is if you want to get high and something cocaine. Who was it by? It was by Cream.
Okay.
Yep, another good song. So clearly I love classic rock, music in general, 70s and 80s. Classic rock and hard rock was my thing.
Okay. And what inspired the move to Nashville?
Nashville, I did so being in a rock band, playing music, I was a drummer, so I always had our band's logo on the kick drum head. And we always talked about moving to Nashville just because it's Music City. And the goal was to be a studio musician, so just play on the records and then eventually maybe go on a tour. And so that never happened. And one of the reasons why it never happened is because while playing in a rock band, I was getting paid by bar owners to do their flyers and by other bands to do their logo, make custom backdrops, design their merch. And I was like, wow, this is a thing. I can get paid by the music industry and bar owners just designing stuff. And the band didn't work out, the last band I was in, and went to private art school, got my degree in graphic design, but I also learned web design and some digital marketing. And then I kind of just, I was that student who was first in, and I was the last one to leave. I think at one point they almost gave me my own key to get through the college because I literally worked my ass off, and eventually got a phone call from a Big Machine label group for a job in Nashville.
Yeah, okay.
From small town Ohio.
From small town Ohio. Did you, like, was that your end goal, was to end up in Nashville?
Yeah, no matter what, I was moving for sure. And I was one of those people who said, oh, I'm definitely going to do this. And I said, how can I even say that if I don't really... I'd never been to Nashville at the time when I was saying that. So I said, you know what? I was on break from college. I'm like, I'm driving by myself to Nashville to see if I even like it, because I'd never been. And obviously, like, right when I stepped foot out of the car, I was like, I fucking love Nashville. And so I went back to Ohio and finished out college with more drive than ever. And literally worked my ass off. And I remember I had this startup job after college, and I hated it, at a printing company. And my goal in end of 2013, I said, I'm going to wake up 2014 with no job, living in my mom's basement. And I'm going to work hard to make sure if you Google me, things come up.
Yeah.
And I was also working on a clothing brand at the time. And so I just made myself look good on the internet and then put some feelers out. And then 2 months later, I got a phone call from the label.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was it kind of happened fast, but at the same time, I mean, it was just, I always knew I was going to be here.
You knew it was going to happen.
Like, you have to believe in it that much. So.
Now, you said you're working on a clothing brand.
Yeah, that too.
What? tell me about the clothing brand and, like, why you wanted to do a clothing brand.
It's just funny how everything works, like, in life. Like, growing up on a dairy farm, and, I mean, I was a kid when my grandpa, like, auctioned everything off, so we just basically played in the barnyard. It didn't really... I wasn't around milking cows that much. But, I was into farming and motocross. That was the thing to do, ride four-wheelers in the cornfields. So I had, like, this interest with, like, four-wheelers and dirt bikes and motorcycles. And then I was playing rock and roll. And so I was like, man, I just want to, like, be able to wear, like, my own clothes. Like, I don't want to wear Monster Energy or Fox Racing. And this is between 16 and 18. When you start, driving.
Yeah.
And you got your own little clique and you hang out like hookah bars because you can't go to bars yet. And I'm just like, I want to wear my own brand. And so I had this shitty brand called Insanity before the workout came out. It was a long time ago.
Oh.
And so.
Could you bring it back?
Yeah, I know, right? But it was, I'm like, this is just dumb because there's no meaning. And then I adopted this dog and named him Max. He was a Boston Terrier. I decided to put his face on a shirt.
Oh.
And everyone loved it. I was like, what? And so I'm like, fuck. He was super hyper, so I kept saying Relax Max. And I saw the domain was available and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, this is it. This is the brand.
Yeah.
It's going to be Relax Max Apparel. And so I worked on that. That was like my side hustle during college. And my teachers absolutely loved that I had something I was working on.
Yeah.
Because in design world, if you're a designer, like, you always do portfolio review with agencies. And so they're like, well, this is cool. This isn't a school project. This is actually like a business that you're doing. I'm like, yeah, it's more of an expensive hobby, but It's a business. And that kind of like tied into, thankfully when I got the job over at Big Machine that brought me to Nashville, it was, they love cars and engines and the woman who hired me in a certain department, she loves like rock and roll and black and red and fashion. So seeing that I was a designer, but I loved, racing.
Yeah.
And my style was black and white and gray. It was kind of like meant to be.
Fit. Yeah.
It was kind of wild.
Oh, you've always been how do you say that word? Entrepreneurial.
Newer.
You said you started making clothes when you were like 16 or 18, so you always kind of knew you wanted to.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's kind of crazy because I didn't think.
Like, looking back, you have always been that way.
Yeah, because my father, he was always, his first job at 16 was still the job that he had when he passed at around 42, 43. And, but he was always, it was a good job, but he was always trying to make extra money.
Yeah.
And I watched him fail so many times. It was just crazy. I mean, everything from building something to going in on vending machines, and then people in these factories are just finding a way to get free candy out.
Yeah.
Like, he failed at a lot of these side hustles, but for some reason that must have stuck with me.
But he had side hustles.
Yeah, I'm like, I like this. Like, this is kind of cool. Like, this man provides for the family, but yet he's trying to make extra money. And so, and I was fortunate to be raised that way where, I was, it's kind of funny. I was never really good at, going back a little bit, when I was racing motocross, like, I did like 2 races, right? Like, wasn't like I was legit racing motocross, I'll be honest. But, I didn't even care about racing. I cared about what my four-wheeler looked like. So I was saving up money, buying cool plastic and tires and wheels and stickers to make my shit look really cool. Yeah. So when I show up, I just want everybody to look at what I did and not actually win the race. Yeah. So that's why I'm in branding and digital marketing.
And now you have Artistnoize.
Yes. Basically making people look good. Because
you make people look so good.
Yeah. Artistnoize puts on Inside the Noize with Jenna Heidman.
Wow.
Yeah, Artistnoize has been around for 15 months. You're talking
to you said that like it's a baby, like you say your child's like 15 months. You don't say it's a year.
Is it a year and a half?
No, not yet.
A year and a half. A year and a half would be. Yeah, it's about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's growing some teeth. Now, Artistnoize as a creative agency was quickly turning into a creative and brand management company. So it's going to start being more of kind of like a white glove service where we're not going to be saying yes to every artist or every client. We want to make sure we don't oversell ourselves and start doing okay work. Artistnoize is all about making sure the work is top of line, and so we kind of have to start saying no, and to the clients we do say yes to, really giving them that full on attention and making sure, we're not just editing a cool photo, but we're actually have meaning to it. Just like the clothing brand. Insanely was a cool name. The logo was all right. I just wanted it to be cool. But there was no meaning. There was no story. So I built Relax Max. But then with artists, it's the same thing, same mind process. It's cool song. I like the product. How do you market that? And how do you, don't do anything that it's just because it's cool. What's the story? Like, why did we do this? Why is that pink or why is that yellow? Why is the logo there? There's got to be a thought in everything you do.
Okay, why did you choose purple?
Because no one else is doing it. Like, honestly, these designs...
Hey, the purple looks good.
Purple's where it's at because, you have SoundCloud's got orange, Spotify's got green, MySpace at the time. MySpace, Twitter, and Facebook were on this blue kick. And then YouTube's got the red. And I follow a ton of design blogs and trends.
Yeah.
And there is like an end recap of like what font was used the most, what color palette. And some of these blogs and creatives actually think they know what next year's trends are going to be. Yeah. And I'm part of that process, and I just think purple is
going to be cool.
Going to be the next, big color, and it's all with branding. I mean, I didn't want anything to look too similar to another brand. Right. Maybe the logos can be somewhat similar and fit with the entertainment industry logos that do exist. Like, I definitely want my logo to be next to Spotify's and it looks similar. Right. But how do I stay different? So, purple.
Purple. I do like the purple. When we went to the festival this weekend, all the other tents were blue. Right. Every other one, and then we were purple.
There you go.
And I looked great.
And I secretly, growing up, being a little kid, it was always the purple Ninja Turtle. So
Are you serious?
I've been obsessed with purple.
Why the purple Ninja Turtle?
I don't know. Somehow, I don't know if my mom had a wall painted purple or something and it just stuck with me as a kid, but...
yeah, the purple one.
I love purple.
All right, what are you obsessed with right now? Like something like...
Ooh. What am I obsessed with?
It could be anything.
I am obsessed with... Well, I can't say that because I'm always obsessed with it. I'm not going to lie. If I'm being truly honest, I'm obsessed with this whole podcasting kick. Yeah. It came in hot. It's been around for a while, but this trend just came out of nowhere with podcasts. It did, yeah. And then obviously a lot of celebrities have jumped onto it, and they already have a following. So that what can I do to engage my following? Let me do a podcast. And no, there's actually a market for it. So it's kind of like I know how to make sure someone signs up on a website for a mailing list. I know how to make that look sexy and make someone want to type in their information and engage with the website and stay on a website. I also know how to make an Instagram feed or Instagram story or an album cover and make it so it's, you can take it and run with it. So I know how to do all that, but then it's like podcasting. I don't, I'd never done one before. So it's, when you've been doing this for a lot longer, so I'm like, this is awesome. So it's kind of just always reading up on trends of, what's going on, and I'm just fascinated with what's going on with podcasts, and how to actually capitalize on it. So I'm a tech nerd too. So it's just like, I'm not a crazy tech nerd, but I'm like that. I like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And learning what's going on. But yeah, that and fonts. I have an addiction to fonts. I download fonts like no other.
You need to like create your own fonts.
I've done that once. It's a pain in the ass.
Have you ever done calligraphy?
I have. I did that in college.
To make extra money?
No, that was a class.
Oh.
We had to take calligraphy.
Like we can do like wedding invitations and invites and stuff like that.
Did that and the Human Anatomy. So we literally had to draw like with chalk like naked people. So like an old man would walk in wearing I remember this for like straight up. This old man came in with a lime green thong. And he sat on our bar stool, and me and like 10 other students had to draw him.
Who like drew the best photo?
Yeah, we just I was pretty good at it. Yeah. But it's kind of weird. Like you are doing this and you're so into the art form.
Yeah.
And you really start appreciating the human body.
Yeah.
And so every now and again you get a woman in there and then a guy, younger, older, whatever. And at first, like, you start giggling a little bit, you know, because it's the first time you're with these strangers, you're students, and you're in college, and this is what you're doing. But, I mean, I've gotten to be so passionate about the human body, as some may think that's perverted, but it's, like, I kept all my drawings, and I want to frame them, because it's really fun. I would recommend anyone to take a human anatomy class.
Like an art class, not like science.
No, like human anatomy, like art class, yes, where you're actually drawing the human body.
Okay.
I can share some of those photos.
Yeah.
Or not photos, but the pictures I've done. Some curvy people out there.
Oh my. Okay, you have any confessions? Off the record confessions.
Yeah, I have a bad one.
Okay.
You know, Kate. So Kate and I, my fiance, she's an inspiration to me when it comes to like being financially like stable and knowing how to spend your money. And it's hard for me. I don't have, a 9-to-5 job. So running your own business, it can be, it's got some obstacles. So we spent last weekend going through some of my books, if you will, my expenses. And it's like, I don't have much overhead. But it's like, these clients are paying X amount, and the bank account says X amount. I'm like, what's not adding up here? I'm just like, it's totally like food, going out and getting food and alcohol. And she doesn't even know this. So literally this was on Sunday. And I woke up Monday and like I feel good about what just happened, like going through numbers. And I ended up spending $200 on bar tab at Tin Roof. On Monday. Monday. Today's what? Wednesday or Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday. And then I think, then earlier today I had a margarita. But that wasn't nothing bad. But anyways, the Monday, it was just, what am I doing?
$200 on a Monday.
But I have a problem with, I don't have that kind of a problem. I have a problem with being around certain people, and I see someone I know. It's Nashville, right? Everyone knows everyone. I just want to buy them a drink.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm consuming $200 worth of alcohol. I'm just a friendly guy.
You're just buying alcohol for everyone else in the bar.
Right.
On a Monday.
So I just write it off as like a donation. Charity. Allan, can you donate to my charity? The drinking charity.
Welcome to Tin Roof.
Oh, goodness. So that's my confession.
Well, Kate, I hope you listen.
Yeah, I need to start listening.
That's your confession.
Yeah. I need to start listening, man.
Dang it. Okay, what are you most intrigued with in the music industry right now? Or like,
yes.
What are you like looking at or seeing?
I am intrigued. I'm a very honest person, sometimes too honest, and I'll just give a full out example. I am very intrigued with, shout out here to my boy Chris Perkins and Fillmore. I find it intriguing because it's an artist and a manager doing big things, and coming from a big label background, and even just being an artist background from back in the day playing, it's kind of cool to see what literally an artist and a manager can do between their resources and the platforms that we have. So I'm very intrigued with small management, small labels doing big things. I think that's happening more than ever right now, and if there's one thing I do know in the music industry with artists, every time I talk to an artist, they always say, I just want to feel like I have a team. Right. And you will never have that feeling if you're on a roster with 25 other artists because labels will run fast to what is happening. Mm-hmm. So if there's another artist that something happened, they're going to run and forget about you for a little bit. So I'm really intrigued with small management and small companies emerging in the music industry world, and these big guys are kind of looking and scratching their head in these big meetings at the big conference tables going, what do we do? How do we do this? And yet those same conversations are being had just between a manager and an artist, So that's very intriguing. Yeah. Shout out to those guys.
You also do the Noize concert here in Nashville.
That's right. Our next one will be Thursday the 20th. And we feature 4 artists. It's an all-genre event, so you might get, there might be one where it's all 4 country acts. There might be a rapper, a rock artist, and then 2 pop acts. So you never know what month is going to have what artist. So the reason behind that is we just want a diverse crowd of music lovers. So it's kind of taking the motto of a Spotify playlist and putting that on stage. Yeah. So I know Spotify's doing it now with certain playlists, but it's always the same genre. So I'm trying to take like my release radar and put it into a stage. Show. Yeah, show. So it's really good. It's been great so far. It is a ticket event, and we average about 150 to about 220 in ticket sales, which is phenomenal because these artists, they may or may not be able to do that on their own. Right. So Artistnoize creates this platform called Nashville, and soon it'll be in Chicago, New York, LA, and start kind of...
Can you go to Texas?
Probably. I see Austin happening.
Go to Austin.
And you know a ton of Texas artists, so...
I know, I'm excited. I'm going there next month, and I'm meeting with another guy who has a podcast.
Oh, nice.
And interviews Texas guys.
Podcast love.
So we'll see if I learn anything.
Podcast networking.
Yep. All the podcasters.
That's awesome.
Okay, Allan, what's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
Oh, the worst advice? Yeah. I actually know this right off the bat. It's very well known, but I just remember like this happening, and I was just furious because I don't believe in it. Yeah. And the advice when people say, don't leave a job until you have a job lined up, I just don't believe in that.
That's the worst advice.
Mm-hmm. When people are so, white collar, I guess, and they're like, oh, you can't quit your job. So put your notice in until you have another job lined up. And to me, the reason why I don't like it is because I call it the C word, which is comfort. And I think you need your blood level to bounce a little bit and hustle. And leaving a job, I mean, unless if you have it all figured out, for me, it was leaving a job and just thinking about going on my own. Yeah. And I've been told, like, you can't do that. You need to have something lined up first. And it's like, I would never go on my own then. Right. So the word comfort, people it's toxic. They get too comfortable and don't want to actually, they keep tiptoeing in the pond, but they don't jump in the lake. So. Yeah. Okay, Allan, what kind of advice do you want to leave us with? Ooh, I don't believe in sleep. I believe in power naps.
You don't sleep?
I definitely sleep, but
I'm a big believer that I can function off 6 hours well.
There you go.
Like that's my 6 hours. I found 6 hours is good if I wake up and work out and then work a whole day.
Correct. I would say
6 hours is great for me.
Yes, 6 hours is great. I would even argue my own piece of advice. As long as when you are awake, you're actually utilizing your time. There's just no excuses anymore to be successful at whatever you do. So hustle, work your ass off, and if you go to bed at night and you don't think you did something more than your competitor, then you need to get back out of bed and do something. You should always go to bed knowing you did something more.
Allan never sleeps.
So, I mean, it's just, I can't fall asleep unless I know I'm doing something that, will make me go further and be on top. Yeah. And make sure, I hate having the thought of someone doing something before I do it. Yeah. When I knew I was about to do it. Right. All the time things happen. You're like, man, why didn't I think of that? But there are some times where it's like, I did think of that.
I just didn't do it.
I just didn't apply my time the best way possible. So now, it's all about being a trendsetter.
Oh, okay. Trendsetter. Okay, and where can people follow you?
Yeah. You can
Tin
go
Roof on a Monday.
Yeah, Tin Roof on a Monday, I guess.
Follow out there.
Right. No, Instagram, Allan Geiger, ALLANGEIGER. The handle is Mr. Allan Geiger. But just type in Allan Geiger.
Mr.
It'll come up. If you're like my buddy Chris Ferrara, you'll just call me Mr. Noize.
Mr. Noize.
I wore a suit one time, and he just like looked at me and goes, "Dude, you're like Mr. Noize. I'm gonna call you Mr. Noize from now on." But and then just Artistnoize.com. Everything with a Z.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for being my guest this week.